Right, I'm going to fit the brake pedal. I've got two new O-rings that go in the bottom of the brake pedal. I'm just putting a bit of grease on them. A bit tricky to get in place, these. Right, so I'll just put a bit of, I've got some waterproof grease, so I'll just grease up the shaft. I've put some grease up the inside of the pedal as well. I'll just get this other seal in. Right, just put the brake pedal on and just twist it. Push the seal up actually. Push the new seal up, it'll sit in place when the pedal goes up. Push the other seal into place on the end of the pedal there, and get your washer on. Fins are covered in grease, and the bolt, sorry, nut. Fuck knows why I keep calling them bolts. Right, that lock nut, once torqued up to 27 Newton meters, I've already set the torque wrench. And that's a lot freer than it was last time when I took it off, bone dry. Right, well, what you can see here, you might have to move. Right, I'm just going to knock you off a second and just shift position. Right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to shove the clevis pin through where the pedal attaches to the master cylinder. I'm just putting a little bit of grease on it. Something to tap it with. And now I've lost my washer. That's because I'm stood on it. Right. Put washer on the back of the clevis pin. And then just turn the pin so you can see the hole. And then stick your split pin through. Awkward getting in here and getting this in and without blocking your view. Right, once it's through, just split the pin and basically fold it back round on itself so it can't come out. And that is your rear brake pedal back on, nice and free. Right, knock you off again. Right, we're going to put some wiring back. So I've had all the wiring held up on the top of the frame with a couple of cable ties. So I'll just snip them. Throttle cables as well. Right. Right, we'll start by putting the throttle cables in. Right, I've just fed the cables in, I'm not connecting them up yet. Right, and some of this wiring is to go through the other side. Right, we'll start with this one. It's your mass airflow. This one's your idle connector. Right, this one your rear injector. Just make sure your clip's in place properly. That back up actually. Lift that one up for the head temperature sensor and then put the injector one on. When you hear the click, that's it in place. And then you've got your throttle position sensor. I'll find the end of the bloody tape. And this one here is your air temperature sensor. Right, so it shoves down there and just clips onto the side. And then your throttle position sensor goes down and plugs underneath on the side of your throttle body. Right, now to line this air temperature sensor up. Right, I'll just knock you off a second and get my torch. This air temperature sensor is a bit awkward to line up. Well, they're not awkward, they're just awkward more to get at. See if I can get it from the other side easier.
Yeah, just a tad on the awkward side to get on the connector. Right, so just double check everything's in place. Right, then the front injector can go on. Same thing, just make sure that your clip's properly in place. This one here it goes down the front for your coil, and the one that I shoved through the other side, that's the head temperature sensor. That's the horn. Right, so that's all them ones on this side. So I'll knock you off a sec and go up to the side. Right, head temperature sensor. This plug here is a little, I haven't got to pull that up, huh? Yes, I can. A little plug on the top, just inside, just pushes onto the bit, this bit here. Sure it clips in all the way, and then push your rubber cover down and right over. Keeps the water out. And the horn, that just feeds down through that side of the head steady. Cruise. I'll find that clip in a minute. Yeah, that just goes down and then plugs into the horn when the horn's on this side. There's a couple of cable ties on it here and there. I'll just move the coil wire. Right, I'll just knock you off a second and find this clip that I've just shoved off. In fact, I've just found it. Right, this P-clip just clips onto the, goes on the other way, onto your cruise cable and just clips on the side there. Right, I was just looking at the clips that are left here. They're meant to hold the spark plug leads, but I've got new spark plug leads which are a lot thicker, so I'm not 100% sure if they're going to fit properly, but I'll knock you off for now. I'll come back in a minute. Right, I'm going to put the coil back on. So just undo my bolts on both sides. Just put them on top of the frame for now. Now the coil, you can see that, it's got two square holes in the bracket. Just basically just feed it through and then lift it up over the bit that sticks out the frame. Same on the other side. And it'll just clip in place. And then basically just for now, just stick your bolts back in. These are the same bolts that hold the front of your tank on. Right, and on your side, on the camera side, is the plug for the main loom to plug into the coil. So I'll just feed that through. And that just clips into the top of the coil. When it lines up, push it in until the clip closes. Then there'll be a cable tie around the frame that holds that lead up out the way. I've also just noticed that I've got my horn wires down the wrong side, so I'll just put them back. I'll take that bit of frigging paper out now. Right, just knock you off a sec, I'll go and get some plug leads and I'll come back. Right, I've just put my spark plug leads in and they're a bit of an arse. There's a clip there and you've got your front cylinder comes up, I'm sure you can see this, goes into the left hand side of that clip, loops round, comes back out of the right hand side of that clip and down onto the plug, and then your rear cylinder comes underneath them into a P clip there, along another P clip there, and then down onto the plug. Now, let's see if I can show this. They're the new plug leads. And that's the old one. A bit of a difference. These are Drag Specialities plug leads, 8.8 millimeters, I think, something like that. So there should be a better setup. Right, knock you off. Right, I'm going to put the fuel line back on. Now what you can see right in the middle of your screen, this bit here, that's the inlet into the injectors. Basically your pipe that goes on, it's just a push fit. So just line it up and then push it until you hear it click, and that's it. That is how simple that is.